Hi, everybody. I'm Kim Holderness.
And I'm Penn Holderness, and welcome to something completely new, different, and hopefully successful.
We're calling it Laugh Lines.
Can you tell?
We are on YouTube, but if you're listening to us, we're going to do our very best to describe everything you're seeing, if that's pertinent, because I know we have a very loyal listener named Emma who is like, hey, if you're going to video, you have to make sure I can also listen without watching.
Yes, we are now simulcast. I think that's the right term. They started using that term in the 1970s, and it's still apropos.
We are only 50 years behind the trend, guys. But if you're watching us on YouTube, thanks for coming along on our journey. Okay, Laugh Lines, why the rebrand? You know, here's the thing. A lot of our content these days is about finding the comedy that goes with aging, right?
The lighter side, if you will.
Yeah.
Sometimes the brighter side.
Yeah.
But we're actually very excited about aging. We've also noticed, Kim, that our topics are becoming increasingly about being older.
Yeah.
We know that a lot of our audience is growing with us, and we just thought it would be a fun, specific thing to talk about on our podcast, like through the lens of a couple that together are, a century old.
Oh my God, you just made me do math there. My brain smoked a little bit. So we're still going to have a lot of fun on this podcast, but we're going to be covering really cool things like, longevity and memory, because my memory.
Yep.
And we have, for example, bread back. Why am I gaining weight in weird places is an upcoming episode.
Should clarify that was I don't want to make sure, like, that was something I noticed.
Yes.
As a man. That I'm getting bread back.
So we're going to still be talking about relationship and parenting, but through the lens of our age, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Can I also say, at the beginning of each episode, you're going to hear a brand new, what do we call it?
It's a show open? An opening song? A theme song? There's so many things. Did you that you weren't sure what that was called? That's okay.
Oh, okay.
Listen, there's a lot going on here. Like, let's back up a little bit, okay?
Right.
We're rebranding. We're doing something totally new, and on the same day, we're doing it on video for the first time. So just to paint a picture of this, usually this is Kim and I we are literally in our pajamas most of the time. Glasses, hats, hoodies, whatever, not giving a flip about what we look like, and just coming up here and kind of dragging our butts up here. And so, like, that has to feel different for you. Like, how do you feel right now?
Well, I have a bra on, and I'm wearing hard pants. And our friend and producer, Sam, is in the room with us.
She's not normally with us.
So no pressure, Sam. But if you don't bring good energy.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. I've already, don't take this the wrong, Sam, take this as a compliment. I've already forgotten that you're here. Like, I mean this in the night. No, you're doing a very good job, because for this show, it's going to be important that you and I can be just as open and just as raw as we've been in all these podcasts. And so Sam knows that the more aloof she's able to make herself, the better off it was. So until you said that, I was not thinking about the fact that she was in the room, and that is a bonus, Sam. You want to say hi, Sam?
You did say I was perfect for this job because I'm professionally aloof. And as soon as you said that, I changed all my resumes. I went on LinkedIn. It's my new tagline. No, I'm not here. You don't see me. I'm a ghost.
She actually does sort of blend in with the paint, like the shirt color she's wearing. Kind of blend. Okay, anyway, we're not going to go.
You'll never hear from me again.
No. Okay.
No, we're going to hear from her a lot. She's also running the soundboard. So, like, when the show open happens.
Which is right now. So Penn wrote a brand new show open. We're going to play it now. I don't think I've heard the final version, so let's hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, we get older every day. Got more wrinkles, that's okay. Yeah, we're laughing when we age. Life is like a comedy stage. And that's why we got Laugh Lines.
And check this out. We're so pro. Sam's going to slowly sneak the bed down when we say hello. And she can keep it right there, up a little bit higher. And keep it just like that for the first 30 seconds or so to give people kind of the good vibe. And then we'll slowly kind of tail out on the music.
I love that song. It feels like an 80s sitcom open. You did such a good job. And Laugh Lines, name of our podcast, also something we have on our face.
Yes, it's a double entendre.
Okay.
We're hoping that we'll laugh about getting older. and there'll be lines of us laughing and also our face.
Speaking of laugh lines, we want to encourage you to write us at podcast@theholdernessfamily.com or leave us a voicemail. I have to read this number because, again, memory, 323-364-3929. There'll be a link in the show notes for more info. And also, we have some really fun segments planned, so stay tuned because today we're talking about Are We Too Old for Blank and our Gen Z translation of the week.
Okay, so this week we thought that it would be fun for us to talk about our marriage up to this point. Like, how are we doing? It's been almost 20 years.
The day this comes out.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The day this comes out, we will have been married for 20 years.
That's soon.
And that's a long time to be married.
It is. 20 years. I don't know what it is about that, but when we got married after 10, I was like, man, I wonder what 20 is going to be like.
Don't you feel a little too young to have been married for 20 years?
I do. And that's a good thing, right? Sometimes I feel too old, and that's like the physical sides, like the farty, bloated kind of cheese side and the hungover after one beer for 3 days side.
Yeah.
But emotionally and just energy-wise, like I feel young.
Yeah.
With love, I feel young.
The fact that you sort of forgot that it was our anniversary. I know you didn't forget it. The whole reason we're doing this episode sort of slips your mind. Mm-hmm. I'm going to forgive because I have something to admit to you. Our anniversary is on April 22nd.
Yeah.
For April 23rd, I had scheduled a colonoscopy.
Wait, really?
And my anniversary gift to you is that I canceled.
Rescheduled or canceled? Okay.
I rescheduled my colonoscopy because...
Well, right, because our anniversary would have been you yourself. Like
nothing.
The entire time because it's the day before.
It says eternity, like some colon blow. So that is my gift to you.
Oh, thank you.
Is that babe. I rescheduled my colonoscopy. I don't know why because you have to schedule them 6 months in advance. I thought, you know what? April 22nd is my anniversary. April 23rd, perfect time to get my butt inspected.
You'll have napped.
I'll have napped. It'll be great. Yeah. So I rescheduled that for you.
Oh my gosh.
I cackled when I saw that on my calendar. Anyway, we are going to be talking today about some lessons we have learned. And because this is Laugh Lines, we put it out there on Instagram, and you guys had some amazing voicemails and, of course, some really hilarious advice that came through Instagram.
Today's theme, its through line, if you will be 10 things that Kim and I have learned from 20 years of marriage. We have not given each other our list, so it's going to be 5 from each of us. So we'll be discovering along with you what the other one has learned over the last 20 years. I can't wait to hear your list.
So go ahead.
But first, we did make a video that you can listen to or you can watch about Newlyweds Then versus Now.
We should start each day with a kiss and then gaze into each other's eyes for at least 5 minutes.
Oh, where are my glasses? Is that you? I know it's you because I can smell your dragon breath from over here. Gee.
I really need to fart, but we are newlyweds, and I cannot let you know that I am human and must expel gas from my body or else I will go to the hospital.
Come on.
I've needed to do that all day. Ever since the hero, it's been building up. My pants fit better.
Could you guys tell which ones the Newlyweds were? We did a special voice.
I sound like a beep in all of those, but it's not untrue. What
was your favorite part? What kind of spoke to you the most from that video?
I think the most accurate is the farting.
Oh, yeah.
Because now it's like I can tell when Penn's about to release because he will lean over. And when we were first started dating, we were newlyweds like that. You would leave the room to expel gas.
Or just hold it in. I had a buddy, I'm just going to out him. His name is Scott. He's one of my faves. He's in my wedding. His first date with his wife, he had to go to the hospital afterwards.
Because he was holding it in.
Because he was holding in his farts. And so that was one piece of advice he gave to me. He was like,
just fart freely.
Just leave the room or do something. Otherwise, you're going to end up in the hospital if you really like a girl. So that was funny. Okay, before we get into our top 10 things that we have learned since being married, our producer, Anne-Marie Tapke, apparently has a very special voicemail for us. I do not know what this is. Let's find out what this special voicemail is.
Hi, Kim and Penn. This is Mom.
Oh.
And as you know,
Kim's mom.
Grandpa and I have been married for quite some time. And I always give people 2 pieces of relationship advice whenever they ask for it. Number 1 is be kind to one another. I mean, that sounds basic and that sounds simple, but make it your hobby to be kind to one another all the time. Take their coffee cup into the sink, even if they don't ask. Just say something nice to them. Smile when you don't have to. It is so simple and yet so basic, and it really, really, really is wonderful. The second thing you're probably not going to want to hear, but I say it all the time to people. Sex is important. You guys always talk about what your problems are, work through them. More than anything else, do it. Love you. Bye.
First of all, I have tears in my eyes because there's something about your mom's voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my mom gives the best advice.
She does.
I call her every time. And she told me the day we got married about being kind. And I don't always follow through, but I try to. Like, I really try to be kind. So, like, on my bad days, this is me actually trying to be kind.
Yeah.
So I do follow that. And I think that's such special advice. Yeah, my mom just gave us sex advice. So,
and that's okay, except for the fact that if you have an active imagination,
I don't.
The first thing that you think about
is my mom having sex. But you know what? She had to because I'm here.
That's true. And as we say to our kids, your parents had sex at least twice, but you don't have to
know about any more
about that. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mom. That is,
Thanks, Peggy.
But very, very good advice. I love that. How did that make you feel?
Fine. Like, she's not my mom, so that was totally okay. About the visualizing stuff. I know this about your mom. I've seen her kindness, and I've seen her and her husband being kind to each other. And I thought the most important thing that she said was sometimes it's not easy, even when it's hard. Like, smile even if you don't feel like it, I think she said. And there is some real value to that. I think you can be true to yourself and be a mature person and ask for what you want, but also just occasionally smile even when you don't feel like it and do something kind when you don't feel like it. And it's the great resetter, right? Like if someone is feeling stress or, emotionally sad or whatever it is, like a kindness can help reset you.
Okay. So I have 5 things. Okay. So should we go back and forth, mix in some voicemails?
I love it. Let's do that.
Okay. I'm going to say my number 1 piece of advice, the number 1 thing I have learned after being married for 20 years, don't get a spray tan on the day of your wedding.
And it's your number 1 thing.
The number one thing I've learned. I have some pictures that I'm going to show you, Penn. Nothing says 2005 more than an Oompa Loompa
orange person.
I looked orange. You are regular flesh colored. I am an Oompa Loompa. Oompa Loompa.
You just,
Can
I say something?
Yeah.
Here? You may have married the right person because you look the exact same color as me.
You're colorblind. Okay, Sam is laughing.
Sam, that's from, I'm looking at this and we both look a color of tan.
Okay. The thing is that I think you're red from nervousness or like sweat from the wedding day. And Kim is just spray tan.
Okay.
Those are 2.
But they're different. Those are different colors?
They're different colors. One orange, one is red.
Well, and I was wearing this like pretty dress that like we scrimped and saved to afford. It was like $2,000, which is insane, right? I took off the dress at the end of the day, and it was orange on the inside.
The actual dress. See, you did not say anything to me about that. I did not notice that. I noticed that you were tanner and you look beautiful.
I'm so glad you're colorblind.
So are you saying everybody else was looking at you like you were, like, did people make comments?
It was 2005. Okay. So I think everybody had it.
Yeah.
But it just screams early 2000s to me. So if you were going to get a spray tan, give yourself a few days just for an extra shower or 2.
Man, what a number 1.
I know.
Do we think that spray tan technology has improved in the last 20 years to keep you less orange?
Wow, it is so good now. They'll come to your house. Like, the color looks more natural. 10 out of 10. But before, they just took a fire hose of chemicals to you.
Yeah.
And that's what I looked like. So that's a lesson I've learned.
Okay.
You're up.
Number 1 for me is it's not about the nail. Let me explain that. There was a skit about 20 years ago, like when the internet was just starting to play videos, where this woman had a nail sticking out of her head. And she was talking to her boyfriend saying, there's so much pressure and it's so hard. And the guy's like, could it just be because of the nail on your head? And the woman kept saying, it's not about the nail. And they went back and forth, and she became furious with him because he was trying to solve a problem. Even though it was a very obvious problem, it was not only funny, but it's a stentorian loud message, which is when your spouse has a problem or something is wrong, the first thing she wants to hear is probably not a solution. What she wants to hear is empathy. Yes. What she wants to hear is, I'm so sorry that that's going on. You might even want to say, tell me more and hear more about it. Because nobody wants, as much as it seems that way in fairy tales, nobody wants their spouse to sweep in and rescue them. What they'd like to do is have some empathy and potentially work through the problem on their own. Right?
Yeah.
And that took me a while, just because I just thought relationships were I am a knight in shining armor.
Right.
Right?
It took me a while to even vocalize that. It
Sure.
took me some marriage counseling. I'll give a really good example. Yesterday, if you are a follower of this podcast, you know that we had a plumbing explosion in November.
A bad one.
A bad one, and it was $50,000 of damage and legal stuff with the city. It was a nightmare. This weekend, I discovered the floor of my closet was soaking wet because our shower had started leaking. And the plumber came over yesterday, pulled everything back and said we might have to rip out the whole shower because it had been leaking. So what are you going to do? So I went downstairs and I laid down on the floor between like the couch and the coffee table because I just needed to like be safe and small. And Penn came over and he started rubbing my feet and he was just like, he didn't have a solution. He was like, I know it's going to be okay. We're going to be fine. He was just doing the reassuring thing. And he was like, this is really hard. He was just like confirming, like, this is really hard. This is a lot after, the plumbing stuff we've been through before. I know you're overwhelmed right now. He was just validating and it was so good.
Can I jump in on something else that I learned from Kim? I don't know if this is specific to your type of brain, but my instinct used to be when that was going on, and I want to say I know times are hard, I would then list all of the things that are hard. I would be like, man, we got this going on, got this, just to say, like, I know you're going through a lot. She does not like it when I list things that are going wrong.
Who does?
I don't know. I don't know why that's my default. I don't do it anymore, but
if it helps you keep track of the things that are hard, that's great. Hearing it.
Right. All I'm trying to do is to say you're so strong for going through all this stuff, but that does not sit well.
Do not need to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, but thank you. But you handled it really well yesterday, just validating, yes, this is hard. Yeah. We're going to get through it. And you didn't say it there you didn't jump up and sweep in. You just validated why it was so hard.
Well, thanks for being patient with me over 20 years so that I could learn that, because I was not great at this the first few years. I was like, okay, there's a problem. I'm fix it, Felix. I'm going to fix it. And that's not what you're really supposed to do.
Right. That's
number one for me. Do you want to take a call?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my gosh. So we're going to go to the Laugh Line's Laugh Line. That's our Laugh Line song. We took some life lessons from our friends of the podcast, and they gave us some examples of what they've learned over their marriage.
Hi, I'm Katie from Westerville, Ohio, and I've been married to Don for 35 years. 10 rules of fighting that we were given when we first got married. Some of them were don't bring up past history, no name calling. The last rule, which the priest gave us, which is very important, is when all else fails and you can't resolve your argument, fight naked.
She didn't. No, that's it. That was her mic drop. Fight naked.
I do want to highlight you heard the word priest.
Yes,
gave her that one.
Her priest said, "Okay, so let's unpack this."
That does go into a piece of advice we got in the Instagram comments from our friend Brooks Bell, who said you should take a shower together because just seeing each other naked is it helps connect you.
That doesn't work for us because all that happens is that your breasts are incredibly clean. and I don't remember any other part of it.
And this is my last episode.
Okay.
See, I forgot Sam was here. It's working. Sam, you're doing great.
So
now I know she's here again.
I love that advice. I wonder if they've ever done it because they'll love you. Love you, mean it. The last thing, if we're upset with each other, I'm sure you feel the same way. If you're annoyed with me, the last thing you want to do is like take your pants off.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I am wondering why the priest said that. It's probably genius. Maybe it's because you have nothing to hide behind. You are showing your own vulnerability, I guess.
Yeah.
And I would love to know if there are other people who have heard this advice who have tried it. Those of you who do listen to the podcast know that I don't have a great body image of myself. Like I'm okay with my body, but I don't love it.
You're so hot.
I know. I'm glad that you like it. It's like a weird thing for a 50-year-old male to admit. So for that reason, like if we were fighting naked, I would be very self-conscious.
Okay.
I don't know if that would work for me.
Yeah, me too. But I love that, and I would love to hear more. So call the laugh line if you have fought naked.
What a great start to the laugh line.
Love it. First one. Okay.
All right. So do you want to do number 2?
I'll do number 2.
Okay. What do you got?
Number 2, schedule sexy time.
Surprisingly, I'm on board with this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think in the very beginning, we both resisted it because it's not spontaneous. And
we wanted everything to be like a porno. You know, like we wanted it to be, or like, you know.
Don't need a handyman come into my door. I wanted it to be, like it was. And we have 2 kids. They're very busy. They're going all over the place. Our daughter has her senior year. She has a free period at the end of the day, and sometimes she comes home early. And so we just have to get it on the books. And that ensures that, as my mom recommended, that it happens.
And as Peggy did recommend, we'll just remind you of that from experience.
Mama knows best.
I think I resisted it maybe even more because, especially as the guy, again, like wanting to sweep you off your feet, that sort of romantic part, really. And I have another one of these that'll, I think, didn't make it under my top 5, which is that there's, first of all, yes, schedule sexy time, but also there are different types of closeness that you discover when you are married for 20 years. There's physical closeness, and that is important. You have to make sure that you have that, but also there's emotional closeness. There's mental closeness. There's the closeness of empathy and all these other things. And so I mean, you know, sometimes you're feeling those other bits of closeness and that's sustaining you, but really, I mean, you need to have sex.
Yes.
As your mom said. And even if you have to schedule it, because our lives are absolutely bananas right now.
And no judgment if you are a couple that can go years, because we know those couples that they're like the best of friends and they have
different types of closeness.
They have different types of closeness, but that's probably not going to work.
Boy, we're doing a lot of intimacy sort of things here to start out. My number 2, and we've talked about this before, and I'm okay with this. Separate beds are okay and sometimes necessary. We have learned that over 20 years. People make funny noises at night. Sometimes you've got a light sleeper and a heavy sleeper who are together. Sometimes it's not even snoring that causes this to happen. But if you've got a separate bed in a separate room, maybe a good idea to have it ready and not feel any shame about it. Because when you go to sleep, you're trying to sleep.
I am a very light sleeper.
Yes.
And when you go to the guest room, if you're out later, you play tennis, whatever, if you're out later.
Because I don't want to wake you up when I come in, to be specific. Yeah.
So you'll go there. I'll walk in the next morning to like wake you up, check on you. And you still have episodes of 30 Rock blaring on your computer. You could sleep through just about anything, which is a gift. It's a superpower. So I 100% recommend sleeping in separate beds when you need it.
Yeah. I mean, I know people who have just said that that's what our relationship's going to be. And I don't see any problem with that either. I mean, like whatever works for people works for people. It was the first time again, a lot of first times here, but the first time I went and slept in a separate bed, I woke up feeling like guilty and like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? But no, sleep is important.
Do you know if I could design a new house, which I talk about all the time, I think what I would do is have this like a main bedroom area, but that there would be like through the closet, like another kind of like dark sleeping cave chamber. Cause I also love it. I love it pitch black, like windowless room that's like, it's pitch black. It's just plush and wonderful bedding, and that could be my sleeping option if you're snoring, if you're up late. Like I could go there and just be in a cave. I think I would put that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
Let's design that house as soon as we can afford to buy a new house in the 3rd of never. Okay, let's go back to the laugh line. This one is titled, I Know That I'm Right.
Hi, this is Susie. We'll be married 32 years, and my best advice is that I don't need him to know that I'm right. I gave up arguing about it because I know that I'm right. I don't need him to know that I'm right.
I am without words. That is amazing. That is amazing advice.
Yeah. So tell me why.
I struggle with this, obviously.
Yes.
I will pull receipts. We have gotten into fights on this podcast where I've had him stop. I've had him rewind and listen to something he has said. I am petty. I need to be right all the time. So that just blew my mind that I could know I'm right, but you don't have to. I really want you to know that I'm right. But that is really good advice.
It's good advice. You're saying it's good advice you're saying it's good advice in the sense that she doesn't need validation for this.
She's my hero.
Right. And so for me to say you're right, that's not good. Or is this?
I love it when you say I'm right.
Okay. So this is only when you could potentially be incorrect.
No,
okay.
That won't happen.
Okay.
But like if
I don't know how to comment on this part.
There are for example, there are times when you're just like, well, every time you say this happens. I'm like, not every time. Not every time.
Okay, that's true. Hyperbole is one thing. There's 2 ways that piece of advice can be taken. One way is I don't give a beep what you think. I'm right, and I don't need to even listen to you. I am drowning you out.
Yeah,
which
I don't think that's what she's
That's
doing.
not what's, but to be honest, like I kind of heard that and I was like, oh, is that what she meant?
No.
What exactly do you think she means with this? It means your validation and your opinions they mean too much to me and I've got to let that go.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying?
I heard.
Okay.
I heard that this is a silly argument about who's taking the kids where and what you said you were going to do versus whatever doesn't actually. Who is right and who remembers the thing correctly? That doesn't matter. Let's just get on with our lives.
That's interesting. So like when we're going to the videotape, as we say it in our relationship, because that does happen.
That does
when
happen.
There's an argument, one person sees it one way, one goes the other way, and they say, let's go to instant replay.
And I should stop doing that and
Got
just
it.
know.
I don't know if that's the lesson that you want to learn. Just know that you were right.
Well, I mean, do you want to be
I'm
right or do you want to be at peace? And I want to be right and at peace. But, but me, I think that a lot of our fights extend because I literally bring receipts. I bring snapshots. I bring audio and video to the relationship.
Yeah.
And
well, we both do.
Yes.
I mean, I'll say something that there's a type of behavior that I don't love of you, and you'll say, give me one reason. Give me one example, specific example. And if I don't have one off the top of my head, you're like, no, meaningless. And if I do, you're like, that's one. Give me another one. And I was like, you just asked for one.
I know it's petty and I hate it, and I need to get over it.
So I kind of love that you took it that way. I don't know if that's what she meant, but I love that you took it that way because it's showing growth.
May need her to call back and explain.
I know, exactly. Her and the naked fighting. We're off to a great start on the laugh line.
Okay, number 3 for me, figure out their love language and freaking do it. So Penn's love language is personal touch. I am more acts of service. And so the love language matters for the person. Like I need him to take my car and get the oil changed. Like I need him to do the dishes. Like that to me shows love. That's not his first instinct, but he just likes to be touched at all times. There are literally moments we're on the couch, watching a show and I'll like throw my foot over and I'll touch his leg. I'll be like, physical touch.
Yep.
I'm doing it. This counts.
It's nice though. Like even now I'm enjoying it. It's
my shoe.
I don't give a crap. It's part of your body. It's connected to your foot, which is connected to you.
Aw. Okay. You're next.
Well, so I'm going to skip ahead to another one because it's very similar to yours. I actually wrote, anticipating her needs is nature's strongest aphrodisiac. We don't have to get into details, but like... You
clean out the garage, it's on.
Yeah. I mean, not just that. I think it's a lot of what your mother said earlier on, like bring him a cup of coffee sometimes in the morning. And I think that works even for people who aren't acts of service people. Everyone, I think, likes it when you anticipate someone's needs or wants. And that doesn't include buying always. It doesn't always include buying clothing for her birthday, because if you don't know how to anticipate their needs or know what it is that they want to wear, sometimes you can ask them for it. This is more like basic stuff that needs to be done around the house. I'm saying that but getting you a surprise.
Oh yeah.
That's a different category.
I don't need that.
Right.
I don't need a surprise.
Yeah. Your surprise is the air conditioning filters have all been changed out.
Ooh.
And there was that crack in the bathroom wall, and I caulked it.
I mean, guys.
Yeah. So that again, this is exactly what you said about the love language. Yours is acts of service. So,
yes.
Yeah. Back to the laugh line. This is fun. We're just kind of going.
Yes.
But the last two have been great. So let's go with supporting each other's goals.
Hey, good morning. My long-term relationship magic has been in supporting each other's goals. I don't get to really judge or assess whether I like what he's doing. I mean, within limits, right? But if it's a goal and a good intention of his, I support it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. You know me. I love a goal.
Especially when we started our business together. I'm just trying to be fully honest since we're sitting here. I felt the need, especially when our kids were younger, let's just fill in the blank of whatever traditional family nonsense I may have been raised to believe. It's not nonsense. My mom was amazing, and she raised both of our kids.
Both of her kids.
She did not raise both of my kids. She raised both of her kids.
So I would have loved her to raise. I mean,
she got us off to a good start with our kids as well. But I did feel the need to be the alpha and the breadwinner in the family very early on. And
how'd that go?
I think it went okay, but I think that there was a particular point in time in this company when I was so fixated on that, I was probably losing track of our most valuable asset, which wasn't me, it was you.
No. Okay.
And so there, like over time, I think I wouldn't say it was an ego check, but like a reality check that, okay, this is not only a true, it needs to be a true partnership, and she needs to have goals beyond parenting, and we need to really pay attention to those and make sure they're okay. But she might even be better at this than I am. So that has caused me to really want to focus on, supporting your goals, like your individual goals, not just our dual goals.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing, right? If we our dual goals is one thing. You have your own goals that I need to support. Like that.
My goal to be a game show host wife, really leaning back into the gender stereotypes.
Yeah.
I mean,
your feminism is leaving your body right now.
The feminism has left my body. I joke about this all the time, but I think if I say it enough, I can put it into the universe. You like Pat Sajak. He worked 6 weeks a year, probably dump truck full of money.
Mm-hmm.
His wife was probably, just having a great time.
What do you think she's?
No, I'm kidding. I love work and I love my job, and I think I'll always work. But man, that's kind of a nice life. Anyway.
Real quick, when you think of Pat Sajak's wife, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Go.
A pool where she's sitting.
Okay. Mine is, I know it's not, but I'm like, Vanna White.
It's not his wife.
I know that, but it's just I just imagine that Pat Sajak's wife is Vanna White.
Okay.
Because they've been together for so long.
When they announced he was going to retire, I called her agent. I'm like, you should definitely put Penn up for that job. And they're like, they want somebody who's actually famous. So who's hosting it now?
I don't know.
But I think it's they wanted somebody that people actually know.
Yeah, I was not qualified to host that show. I'd make
you can spell.
I know, but there's a lot of people who've spent a lot more time going through the.
Is it like a trajectory for game show hosts? Like you work your way up.
You probably work on a smaller game show to work your way up.
Where is this smaller?
The Game Show Network? I don't know.
Hey, yeah. Sam, who does host Wheel of Fortune right now?
Sorry, I was looking up Pat Sajak's wife. She's gorgeous.
Of course.
Does she look like Vanna White?
She's 18 years younger.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there.
No judgment.
Judgment. Just good for her.
Pat Sajak's a trip. If you ever heard him on an interview, he does seem fundamentally happy.
I bet he is. He's got a dump truck full of money and a young wife.
I'm seeing Ryan Seacrest as the new Wheel of
That
Fortune
is
host.
the least surprising thing I've ever heard.
He's going to run out of things to host.
No.
I mean, he's great.
He's been cloned several times.
Yeah, no,
we're good.
Yeah. He's great.
There's several Ryan Seacrest.
I say he's great as if I know him. I don't know him, but
okay, let's do our last two, then we'll go back to the laugh line.
Okay.
Or what? No, we've got 4 more. Sorry.
Similarly to have your own goals, support them, have your own hobbies and life, but make each other a priority. Like, I think it's important that you have your tennis friends and you have all your guys' trips. I can take a girls' trip. I'm learning to play mahjong. Like that, I have these activities.
Yes.
You have your own life, but then make each other a priority.
I love that. I have no notes.
No notes.
That's another thing that it took us a while to figure out. I want to make it clear, like, all of these things have taken time to figure out. That's why we're saying that we learned them.
Yep.
My number 4 is always have a coat, even if you don't need one. She might. And giving a chick your coat is bomb.
Do we say chick?
Well, everything else was so chivalrous. I thought I could get away with it.
Sam, do we say?
I was going to say, do we say bomb?
No, we definitely.
What year are we in?
No, that was, bomb was like 10 years ago.
No, we're 2005 still, Sam. We're in the year of our wedding. So,
okay. So always have a coat, even if you don't need one. She might. And giving your partner your coat is awesome. Is fetch.
Oh, we're trying to make fetch happen. Okay. And then here's my last one. Trust that the person you're in a relationship with wants the best for you. They're on your team and you can trust their feedback.
Trust.
It took me a minute, like when you gave me feedback or something was happening, I had to rewire my brain because I thought, I just had never been in a partnership where the person, like, what's in it for you? Like, you're not trying to, like, you only want the best for me. So it just took me a minute to realize that you only have positive intentions for me. Mm-hmm. And so I needed to trust that. And that took me a minute.
I'm sure I was the same. Feedback is really, really hard, especially when you work in a creative medium. Mm-hmm. And the person who is telling you that you could use a little bit of work on this is also the person that you share your life with.
Yeah.
That it takes some time to learn that. Samesies.
And you're not doing it just to hurt my feelings.
No.
Yeah.
My final one is you are allowed to be each other's favorite, and you can tell the kids that too.
Oh, we do.
You can tell, like, they're always like, who's your favorite person? Your mother.
Yeah.
Ah! I think most times kids are expecting to hear that the answer is them. And we love our kids, but we're allowed to be each other's favorites. Mm-hmm. And as long as that is the arrangement, I think our kids will benefit from that down the road when they partner up with somebody else potentially in the future.
It goes Penn, Sunny, and then the kids are down a bit. Right. I'm kidding. Are we going to hit the laugh line one more time?
Yeah, one more trip to the laugh line. Sam, what do you like? What's your favorite? We've got nothing serious after 9 p.m. Go to bed angry.
Hi, this is Kristen Walters. I'm from Star Valley, Wyoming. My husband and I have been married it'll be 11 years this summer. And I'm kind of like Kim. I really like to go to bed earlier than my husband, and I get kind of grumpy. My husband came up with this rule that we can't talk about anything that's too important or too emotionally charged past 9 p.m.
I love that.
That is dead on for us too.
Yes.
That's us.
Even if he asked me like, hey, what are we doing? Like, can we book this thing in 2 weeks? I'm like, I can't look at a calendar. It's 9:00.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for us, the next layer is that there's work stuff that happens. We talk a lot to people on the West Coast. So there are things that are happening at 9 p.m. in our lives. And we just make the decision that we're going to put a boundary around that. I think we even go closer to 8 p.m. for those decisions, right? Yeah. We say, like, guys, we're going to shut it down now.
Nobody is going to die if we don't make a decision about a font for something right this second.
All right, time for our next segment on Laugh Lines. It's called, Are We Too Old for Blank? Kim and I have been asking this question just about every week, realizing that there are things in life that we are just too old for, not necessarily because we're physically impaired, but because we just don't want to do them anymore.
Yes. I'm going to pose this question for you, Penn. I spent 2 days in a theme park with my son at Universal Studios, just a mother-son wonderful trip. Are we too old for theme parks?
This music's really pumping me up. It's like old-timey music. It's how I feel right now when I'm about to say some of these things.
So
we are too old for theme park rides.
I love a theme park.
Yeah.
I love a theme. I love a theme party. I love the commitment, like going through the Harry Potter area. I love Disney World. I love all theme parks. I love walking through them. I went on these rides that fly upside down and down. My brain, like the equilibrium in my head, I felt so nauseous. I was texting you. I'm like, I think I'm going to have to give up. I think I'm done.
The theme parks, the model is you're paying quite a bit of money and the rides are all included once you get in.
Right.
If you're not riding the rides on the theme parks, you have to look at the price tag and say, is this actually worth it? Our kids love theme parks.
I do too.
I am with you that I think we are getting too old for theme parks. And look, Disney's one of those things where it's like the magic and the vibe and like seeing the castle and all that other stuff. Like that's really why you go, is the magic of the kingdom. Is it that magical for like a $350 park hopper like intro thing? You think it is?
I loved it. So what we need to find is, I just need to find, and I love rides, I just need to find better Dramamine solutions, and that's where I need you guys to call me with that. Because I was taking Dramamine, I had a wrist thing, I had little dots.
And you were still a mess.
I was a mess.
Yeah. I just don't think, honestly, and for me, like the VR stuff, the 3D VR stuff,
done.
hard stop, forget it. There was one in Star Wars, it was like a Millennium Falcon where your kids drove it and you were in this is your basic nightmare, okay? The most car sick that you would ever get is being in the back seat when a bad driver is in the front seat. Mm-hmm. So we were in this Millennium Falcon and one person was in charge of going up and down and the other person was in charge of going left and right. And when you're a kid, you're not going to gingerly drive it. It was like, Kim crawled out of the ride as it was like, and they were like, ma'am, like as it was still going on, got out of her seatbelts and crawled on the floor out of the ride.
I was sweating. I was making a deal with God. I was like, if you could make me just feel better right now, I will go to church every Sunday. So it was, I just can't do that. But I love to walk around, and that's what I was explaining to PC. Like he goes, because I did do a lot of the rides. I discovered I can't do the ones that go upside down anymore. But I could do like Hagrid's and I could do the other ones. But I just I enjoy walking around. I enjoy hearing the music.
You can walk around outside for free. Sorry, now I'm sounding old.
I would like a button.
Yes.
When I don't agree with you guys.
Let's get it. We'll get it ready for you.
What don't you agree with?
Disney not being the most magical place on
Earth. It is the most magical place.
Just jump in. Tell everyone your age, Sam.
30?
30, yeah, 30.
No, I
30.
I love Disney. If you said, Kim, right now, if you woke me up and said, Kim, we're going to Disney World this morning, I would wake up and cry like an 8-year-old. I love Disney. Yeah. And Disney doesn't really have upside downy rides. So I think that Disney World is really good for toddlers and people over 50.
Yeah. So Sam, at 30, your semicircular canals have not hardened and formed crystals that cause motion sickness, like people who are older. I get that, but you're saying that no rides at all. You still think Disney is worth the cost of admission to walk around.
Yes. Oh, even if I didn't ride any rides, I would be happy to spend a day in Disney. And you just can't beat that. Like, it's just a feeling.
I get it.
You walk in, you see the castle and the kids dressed up.
Oh. I don't want to sound like a Disney hater here. I just, I think there's probably a group of people out there who are saying, okay, if I was not going to ride the rides, I don't know if it would be worth it to go to Disney. I will say that I will spend whatever the price is for a Dole Whip. All right, so the answer, are we too old for theme parks? Sounds like we're still at a no.
Yeah.
Right? We're still going to give it a go.
We're still going to give it a go.
Okay.
So Disney, Universal, give us a call.
Guys, that was one of our segments. Did you hear the music that we had for that? It was old music, so if we wanted to sound cranky, it would hear. I don't know about all these fandangled Mad Hatter teacup party rides. What about you, honey?
You sound like your dad.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Anyway, so that's our music.
Okay, we have another segment.
Should we try another segment? Let's just unload all of them.
Yeah, and you guys have to give us your opinion on these. They're not going to be every week.
Yep.
This is
what the Gen Zers are saying. So this is for parents of our age when your kids come home and they say something that sounds really foreign, and you ask them, what does that mean? And they go, ugh.
I'll say the first one, I'll explain this, came in a text message. Lola texted me and said, hey, Matt is throwing tonight. And I said, throwing what? Throwing is when you are hosting a party.
Throwing means hosting a party. So they took out a party and now they just say throwing.
So today's Gen Z word of the day is throwing. Try to use it in a sentence. Report back.
Make it a point to say it in front of your child because they love it when we try to use their language.
Love it.
Love it.
They love it so much.
Yes. I think did we make it to the end of the show? I think we made it to the end of the show.
Okay. Thank you if you're watching us on YouTube. Thank you for joining us on our inaugural episode of Laugh Lines. If you're just listening, Emma, thank you for continuing to listen to our podcast.
Next week, we're going to talk about breadback and what that all means and why it is now important to me. Laugh Lines is produced by Kim Holderness, Penn Holderness, and Anne-Marie Tapke with original music by Penn Holderness. It is edited, shot, and kind of co-hosted today, we learned, by Sam Allen. Sorry.
Oh my God.
I was moving on to the next page. Audio engineered by Max Trujillo and hosted by Acast. As always, we love to hear from you. Please write to us at podcast@theholdernessfamily.com or leave a voicemail at 843.
No.
God bless America. Where is it?
Keep all of this in, by the way.
Okay. At podcast@theholdernessfamily.com or call us at a special number that only we have. And that number is 323-364. The music ran out. 3929. Okay.
He just had to trombone the paper there.
323-364-3929. That was a smooth ending.
Smooth ending.
Yep.
Okay, love you. Bye.